I wonder who you think you are. Do you damn well think you're God or something? God give life, God taketh it away, not you. I think you are the devil itself.
Another victim lay undiscovered on wasteland in Bradford. A woman who died here 10 days before Helen Ritker. Her name was Yvonne Pearson. She'd gone missing from her home in Bradford in January 1978. Her decomposed body turned up under a settee 2 months later on Easter Sunday.
This Aladdin Carpets was the Flying Dutchman. This is Lum Lane in Bradford. This was quite an infamous street in Bradford. Maybe it still is. I don't know. It looks infamous, I tell you. But Yvonne was drinking in there on the 21st of January 1978, and she told her friend she left her kid at home with a babysitter, a neighbour, and told her friend she was going to go out. She met her friend in the pub and then said she was going out to find some business. Look at all this. What is going on here, like? I love a speed bump in Bradford. I'm all surprised the amount of people that have... Alright, I'm not talking about... Terrible, aren't I? As Peter Sutcliffe says, he wasn't looking to murder this night. He was driving back to his home when up here, I believe, a car pulled out, which made Peter Sutcliffe slam on his brakes. Where is the building? I'm not too sure. Again, I do not know Bradford too well. So it's here. So a car pulled out of here next to SA Tutoring, Southfield Square. He slammed on his brakes here, and Yvonne Pearson was here and banged on his window. This is according to Peter Sutcliffe, who is a psychopathic liar. So what is going on here? For a playground. That's not Jason, it's the 70s. Oh. That's according to Peter Sutcliffe. Like, obviously, a lot of the stories I tell are from a book, Richard Cobb, I believe, his book. I'll put a little link. But they all come from Peter Sutcliffe. So what is to believe and what's not? I mean, it's the only record anybody has. Well, I wouldn't trust the word he says, to be honest. And after Yvonne got in the car, they would have driven, probably not this way because I don't know Bradford. But they went into Arthington Street, which hopefully I end up in. I might fast forward it. No, you can stay with me. See the sights of Bradford together. Never been to Bradford. I think I went on a school trip when I was a kid, actually. Oh, that's the Carlisle. I've just been here. That's the Carlisle pub there. That's where Tina Atkinson was that night. That's where she had been drinking. The night she was murdered. Yvonne and Tina, they were mates. They knew each other. And Yvonne, because of what happened to Tina, would change from using indoors and go stay in a car because she felt she had a better chance of getting away than in the house. Although Tina was the only murder inside, might be different when it's your mate and you know him. And that's why she would do her business. Please, Van, please go. think I've gone the long way here. Right, and this is this Arthington? This is Arthington Street. I recognise it now. Put my windscreen wipers on for my guests. That's a bit intense, isn't it? Right. So how this looked in the 70s, none of this was here. This Audi wasn't here because of 58 plate. This one probably was though. I don't know what it is, but right. I try and make myself laugh just to pure. These buildings were here. Just I think people, when you do these videos, I mean, maybe people can decarpentermentalize. That's not even a word. But man, they start weighing on you a little bit. Wow, this looks totally different, doesn't it? Yvonne Pearson was found in here, but I'm going to get out and do a bit more of a bit here, because I had a park. Right, so this is where Yvonne Pearson was found dead. It's a little bit active here, so I can't say too long. Where that car's pulling out of, all this was wasteland back in the 70s. And
hi everyone, I'm just stopping the video. This picture that I found during editing for this particular video, that's this building that I'm walking in front of here. This building remains from the 70s, and it makes it easy to line up this, it makes it easier to line up this location. I wasn't aware of this picture when I did this video, but yeah, it's that building, and I thought that was kind of interesting. You know me and locations by now. I thought that was a really interesting picture, so I just thought I'd share that with you.
the sofa where she was found was basically just by the garages there. No one has safe felt like because there's people working. So that's where she was found with the sofa. He was disturbed. Peter Sutcliffe, another car pulled in with a prostitute. I remember this was all wasteland. You've seen the pictures. This was found just in there. He was disturbed, and well, I'm not going into the details of the murders. Very grim again. But she wasn't found for 2 months, and in that time, she was found with her arm poking out of the sofa. But in that time, somebody had put a newspaper. So this was the 21st of January 1978. Somebody had put a newspaper under her arm dated 21st of February.
It was dated exactly a month to the day she'd been murdered. So the murderer had been back and placed the newspaper under her arm. He's taunting the police.
So somebody's gone back and probably put the newspaper under their arm, and also poked the arm up out the sofa, so that she would be found. But I'll talk properly about Yvonne at her graveside. Hey everyone, Yvonne Pearson's grave is in Killingbeck, Roman Catholic church. It's quite impressive when you drove in. Here, 21 years old. It's kind of, well, it's all very near each other, aren't they? Yvonne, 26th of March 78, 21st of May 78. Yvonne was a very good looking lady and was in high demand for the job she did and being very good looking. She would work out of a bedsit in Bradford. But like I said in, again, one of the videos, I can't remember anymore, Tina was murdered in hers. And she had a friend, I think this is in the Longest Yard documentary as well. She had a friend called Jane who... So there really isn't much room here. So I'm going to have to be quick because somebody's going to want to go by in 2 seconds. But she had a friend called Jane who worked down in London and she got murdered in her flat as well. So she took to working out on the streets, and that's why she was at that landfill site that I went to earlier. She was really careful because of the Ripper attacks, and she carried... I'm really conscious of being in somebody's way. Carried a weapon. She took to working in the Western basically because the two friends passed. Because of what was happening with the Yorkshire Ripper, there was a crackdown on prostitution, and she'd been arrested 3 times, and she was due in court the week after, and she went out drinking to the Flying Dutchman that I showed you, and she had had a few drinks and wanted to make some money, and she got, so Sutcliffe says, got into his car, and yeah, she had 2 kids, 2-year-old Lorraine and 5-month-old Colette. She left the children with a Selma, who was babysitting for her. Selma raised that Yvonne hadn't come home the following morning, but the police and other people thought she'd done a runner because she was due in court. That's why there was no lookout for her, and it took 2 months to find her body. But that's where Yvonne lays, and it's truly quite humbling to do any grave, really. It really is. But when you're doing so many, this is still well attended with flowers. It's not lost on me. 21 years old. Right. I hope that was okay. I'll see you tomorrow for yet another one. And I'll see you then. Hope you have a nice night. Look after everybody. Speak to you soon.